how to develop. Sometimes it is so hard for Korean students to talk about native because, you know, if you call them, they just talk about how are you today, today's weather, blah blah blah. I'm so tired, I'm so happy, blah blah. I had dinner, kind of like that. But if someone want to improve, or if someone want to do the other, want to talk about another thing, how to do that? Yes, do you know some special tip to lead your students in a good way, in a better way?
Absolutely. So in the beginning of the conversation, in the beginning of my classes, all of my classes, I start with what we call small talk, which is for just a few minutes. How's the weather there in Korea? Oh, it's 20 degrees, it's raining, you know, just to kind of relax a little bit. In America, it's a common term, small talk. And then I always ask my students to help them think positively, what was the best thing that happened today? So I ask every student that same question, and they might say, oh, I learned about this exciting new math concept today, or I had fried chicken and it's my favorite meal. Whatever it is, it just loosens them up, relaxes them. But I use newspaper articles as a topic. I call it a jumping off topic. I use videos, I use books, we might use a script. I use really many different types of materials, but it's not just about the article itself. We are talking about their opinion. For example, today with a few of my students, we talked about an article from the New York Times about optimism and pessimism. I couldn't get the word out. Optimism and pessimism. And so we started talking, would you consider yourself an optimist or a pessimist? And so the idea is really to get them thinking about it personally. That's what I do. And get them thinking how it will affect them. Find something that, find a way to make it interesting. And they will talk about anything. Talking about how's the weather, I had dinner, that doesn't help them improve. That's too easy. Anybody can do that. So we talk about difficult topics. And then, of course, as we're talking, they might say, well, I read this article, but I don't understand what this word means. Or this sentence, I understand every word, but what does the sentence mean? So I explain it. Then we begin talking. What do you think? How would you feel if this was your life? So I use lots of materials, videos about, anything. Videos about a bald eagle, videos about bumblebees, videos of newspaper articles about women working in NASA, the first African-American woman working in NASA, like anything, sexism, racism. So it just gets them involved. And that's the key, I find. They'll talk about anything. That's the key. That's it.
So it means that if you want to talk, if one student wants to talk about the news article, they have to study earlier before your class.
Generally, yes, because what I find is if they're not learning new vocabulary words, they're not going to improve. So I purposely give them an article that's a little more challenging for them. So then they must find vocabulary words. And then when we're talking, they're using those vocabulary words in our conversation. So they're talking, then they're practicing with those vocabulary words, and everything works together to improve their ability to speak English. And they're having fun at the same time. So I generally give them homework, even if it's a video, just a video, like it could be a 2-minute video about I think last week one of my students learned about a bald eagle. So it was a very short video, but we talked about how large is the bald eagles is their wingspan, and they were like, what? Wow, and it's so strong, and it can pick up any animal. Like, they prepare. Sometimes they are looking for vocabulary words, but they do usually read the article. Usually. Sometimes we read it in the class. It really depends on the student, but I do it different every time so that they're used to talking, so they don't feel like they have to memorize something. I have some of my students, they think I need to memorize my answers. That doesn't help you speak English. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much percent of your students prepare your class? I mean, reading the article or choosing the subject that they want?
Well, I generally choose the subjects for them.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So what I do is I prepare for the week. It really depends, because learning how to speak English has a lot of different components. Pronunciation is one of those. Reading, because when you read in any language, it helps your vocabulary increase. Yeah. Any language. So reading is important. A vocabulary, pronunciation. So they probably spend for Monday to Thursday, I choose the topic and what we're going to do, unless they're an adult. If they're an adult, you know, if they're an adult, we talk about how we're going to do the class. And I tell them, this is what I recommend. This is what I've seen work. What do you want? What is your goal? With adults, with students that are children, this is what we're going to do. And Friday, they choose on Friday. I call it Free Fun Friday. So they spend, 99% of my students must prepare before their class. They must prepare some way. It might be reading the article. It might be watching a video, but I try to give them homework so that they're reading something written by a native speaker, because that will help them improve. Yeah, so it's a lot of different things. They're just having fun. Yeah. They think, oh, we're laughing, but they're really working hard. They don't even realize it, which is awesome.
Do you have adult students?
I do.
Do they have class after working or in the morning?
Yeah, all of the students. Now, I don't have any students who take their class, in the morning during the week. I have some who take their class Sunday morning, like Sunday mornings. But most of my students, my adult students, they take their class after work. And so some of them are coaches with our company. So they take their class very late. But others work for other companies, and so they take their classes at different times. But it's generally after work now, anyway. Yeah.
Okay.